Over 7 years ago, I traveled to Hartford City to spend 3 nights in a reportedly haunted jail. Little did I know that I would experience something so unbelievable that all this time later, I would be returning still in search of answers. Will I be able to figure out what happened to me long ago? Has the activity changed or become more prevalent? To find out, join me as I return to the old Blackford County Jail in this next chapter of The Dead Chronicles.
So we're here at your coffee shop, and the reason why I want to come here is because you're really close to a couple pretty prominent, supposedly haunted locations. And I'm sure that you've had a couple customers come in who have visited those locations and had some stories. So right now I'm really focused on the jail. Okay. What can you tell me about the jail?
I know from history that the sheriff did live there while it was in operation. Beyond that, I don't know a lot. Visitors coming in have talked about they hear footsteps. They'll be downstairs, hear footsteps above them. They'll be in one area and hear a door shut in a different part of the building. They'll hear voices. A lot of times when they're downstairs where the cells are, they hear more down there. They feel the cold kind of come in over them. Some activity in the attic. It's a lot of small things.
Okay, so is it something that people feel comfortable being around, like special investigators or anything that...
Yes. Nobody's ever experienced what I think is fear. Just, they know something's going on. They can feel it, they can hear it.
So when was the last time you talked to someone from who had investigated the jail?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. And everything was kosher?
Yep. Never any issues. It was a family with friends that had just started a group they were from Michigan. Brand new group came in and spent the night. Enjoyed it. They said it was a positive experience and they'd be back.
So before you came here, were you a believer in all this crazy stuff going on? Or...
Never even thought about it.
Then you moved here, and what do you think now?
I'm thinking there's a lot to it.
Places like this are always interesting because it seems like you have hot spots that are like entire towns. I mean, you look in Kentucky is really well known for it. You'll have towns that just seems to be like hot spots, whether it be Native American or maybe there's a high deposit of limestone quartz, and they say things like that kind of amplify these things. So it just makes you wonder, why is this town... There's so many properties, especially properties blocks away from the jail to the Monroe House.
Yeah.
Why do we have activity in all these places? Why is Hartford such a weird town?
All I could guess is it's the influx of Europeans possibly bringing something with them. But it could also be the original settlement of Indians here, and we're on their land.
Well, hey, I appreciate your time.
Okay.
And I'll
Thanks
be
for
back.
visiting.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Good deal.
The old Blackford County Jail holds a special place in my heart. Initially, I filmed here about 7 years ago and spent 3 nights sleeping in the cells. This was not only the first place that I investigated in the state of Indiana, it was also the first jail that I had the pleasure to investigate. At the time, I knew nothing about the location and decided to go in blind, clueless to all the activity and claims. Little did I know that I would have one of the wildest experiences that stuck with me all these years later. Walking back into the front door after all this time brought back so many memories, and I had the opportunity to sit down with not only the owners, but one of the volunteers to see what has been happening.
My brother actually, I was living in Washington State at the time. 1996, after this place being sitting empty for about a year, the county put it up for auction. Silent auction. 11 people wanted it. 9 of them wanted to tear it down for parking. One wanted to make it a restaurant, the other one turned into apartments, of course, and then run it till it just till it just, and then walk away from it. John Dillinger was in here, not for bank robbery, but for petty crimes, while he was scoping out the local banks. I worked third shift for a while, and I noticed there was the sign-in book from day one, and it was up on the top shelf out here, and I went through every one, and there were people, for public intox, of course, no DUI back then. There was people in here that just said insane. John Dillinger was in here, and they showed me the book where he was, but he was put down as like Bob Smith, because they didn't want the town to know that a thug was here, and that's all they were, what he was back in the day. So I remember it was like in between two lines. They didn't want to use a line to write his name in, and so he was here, and he did come here a lot to befriend the sheriff. The people that were in here, we only could hold 4 with one drunk, and if we had an opening, the people would just say, "Oh, I'm glad it's here," and because it was like Andy Griffith's time too. We had a restaurant that was just right behind here, and called the Nip and Sip, and they would order the food from there, and they kind of like more or less said, "What do you want?" One night there was a guy in the cell here, first cell on the left. I was walking to do my hourly check, and he was getting ready to hang himself. I was walking by and didn't even miss a beat, and I said, "You don't want to do that." And walked around, signed the sheet, and came back around, and he was sitting there like this afterwards. With me, I guess why I wasn't such a good officer is because I treated everybody equally, and they never liked that. A lot of people go through that God complex, which I never did. I don't know why, but it seems like everybody does. But I guess I was in it to actually help people, not just to be power hungry. All these weird things start happening, and we're in the Bible Belt here, solid. This like X marks the spot, and you didn't dare tell anybody that you saw a ghost or heard something. So we kept it to ourselves for at least 2 years. But one night I got rolled over, and I was in bed by myself, and I rolled over, and there's this great big dent in my bed. Somebody really heavy had sat on the bed, enough to roll me over, and that was my, I guess, my best experience I had here.
The first time that I invited other people to come here, there was a lady sleeping. We all picked a cell to sleep in, and there was a lady sleeping in the first cell on the left. And within maybe 20 minutes of us laying down, there was a random battery that was kind of thrown, but I thought they were maybe joking or something. And then there was another thing that kind of dropped, and I again dismissed it, because unfortunately that's what I do instead of really think that something happened. So then all of a sudden I heard a very muffled screaming, and then a loud screaming, and I realized quickly that it had come from that cell, and something had their hands over her mouth, and then she really screamed. So I didn't realize it was her muffled screaming at first. So then, as the person hosting, I made everybody get up and leave the area for the night, because I didn't want anybody to actually get hurt. It'll be completely calm and then switch on a dime. And I know that's a lot of places, but I've never quite experienced such a flip as I do here.
I saw an ex-sheriff up in my bedroom. Of course, I didn't tell anybody for 2 years. I had no clue who it was. And it was at night, just walks in like he owns the place. And when I told a local historian, they said, "Well, that sounds just like Ed Townsend." "Who's Ed Townsend?" "That's the sheriff that died down in the office in 1977. Well, this was 2002 when I saw him. And he said his niece works right across the street at the time. So I went over there and described him, and her jaw just dropped. She goes, "How did you know this?" Because how I described him is how he always looked and even he had a white t-shirt and dark pants on. That's what he always wore when he wasn't on duty, nothing else. And she was just dumbfounded that, just really, how'd you find out? Just, that's how he appeared to me. And he just gave me this most beautiful smile, and he goes, yeah, he was a big giant, gentle giant. If he barked out order, people did it just because he's so big. But he had a beautiful smile with these sparkly blue-gray eyes. After seeing Ed Townsend, then it just all busted loose. But for 2 years, I didn't see or hear anything. I didn't think about it being haunted.
With the energy, I think the energy can be trapped here. I set up a recorder right inside the door here, and I heard myself. I always wore cowboy boots because we had brown uniform on and stuff. I wore these brown cowboy boots when I did my walk around, and I recorded that. It's like 15 years later. That was something. I thought that was like the first day I recorded. I thought, man, this is going to be great. And then after that, it's just been bumps and slams and that kind of stuff. I've never heard that again.
That's kind of the last thing I want to talk about. So,
Okay.
a little over 6 years ago, I came here, and we stayed 4 nights in these cells, and we had an experience that has stuck with me to this day. Whenever someone asks me the craziest experience I had, I tell the story. Do you remember anything from that story?
Oh, I remember everything. I even remember I was in the kitchen or the office working on my laptop because you two were in the kitchen editing your stuff. And laptops aren't meant to be on laptops. They get hot. So I took it off, and my 2 cats are laying there, and I balanced it on a book so it could air, and went into the kitchen, and I no more got in the kitchen. We heard this loud thud. Oh no, my laptop. So I come running back into the office. My laptop's right where it was. Both cats going, don't look at us. And then when I went back towards the kitchen, you come running towards me and said, I think it's upstairs. And you went to go upstairs. I said, guys, no, grab your stuff. And so you went back and grabbed your stuff. Then you came in behind me like you wanted me to go up first. And always said, even though you wanted me to go up first the second time, you still were willing to go up the first time by yourself. So it wasn't a scare thing. I think maybe you were trying to film me going up. And I got about the 3rd step, and that clock on the balcony, on the landing, struck. And I said, did you guys start that clock? Because I set it up there. It's going to be perfectly balanced. It ran for about, I think, 40 minutes and stopped. And you said no. So it run for 20 minutes or something. And so when I went upstairs to the landing, I noticed the one picture was missing, and it had fallen, rolled over, and started that clock, and it was right on the dot. So I do remember that night.
When I asked Dan about the experience we shared all those years ago, I did not expect him to remember, especially as vividly as he does. When editing this episode, I went through some old hard drives and found the footage from over 7 years ago when this had happened.
We were just sitting here hearing 2 super loud bangs. No clue where it came from, but it was really loud. Trying to figure out what it could have been.
Well, something definitely fell.
Yeah, and the cats are both laying right here still. So I thought maybe I could have just set my laptop down.
What was that sound? Did you hear a voice just a second?
Yeah. Then I heard on that right behind me.
Did you hear it, dude? It was like literally right in between us.
It sounded like a female.
It was a female.
It sounded like a
voice.
female said hi.
It was, dude. It was right here. I can't
Are you
believe you didn't hear it.
serious?
It was right in
I
between
think I was
us.
just because I was walking that way.
Oh my gosh, dude! I'm
That was
chilled.
That was loud.
Gotta find out what.
We gotta, yeah. It sounded like it came from in here, though.
I couldn't tell him they were upstairs.
Well, I thought I heard someone upstairs as I walked by. That was too loud. It was like,
Read more.
Let me get cameras real quick. That was impressive, whatever it was.
Yeah, that was a good drop.
I don't know that it was a drop though, because it was like too loud. Unless something bounced, I heard it hit twice. It was like doom doom.
Yeah, it's like it fell and then maybe like a picture.
It was upstairs. That's gonna be sweet.
Yes. I just
I'm
want you
gonna-
guys to record whatever it is, because I mean, I was out here, so I wasn't.
No,
lying.
no.
All right.
Cameras go first. I don't want to be accused of. I mean, well, heck, I got video on this one.
Okay, we were just sitting down here at base. Dan came in. And something fell, dropped, and we're gonna go try and find out what it was. We didn't find anything in his office. There wasn't anything in your office to follow, right? So we're gonna venture upstairs and see if anything fell on the ground or anything's out of place. What? The clock hasn't been running?
Didn't start.
We've never heard that clock here. What was that sound?
That's what I heard earlier.
How does the clock run?
I set it up there, it ran for about a day, 2 months ago. It's been on for 2 months. I set it up there 2 months ago, and it ran for a day, and that was it. It's got to be out of level. It's supposed to be leveled. I didn't have time to do it, and haven't done it, and now all of a sudden it's running.
All right, we're gonna go upstairs.
After we heard the loud noises.
Yeah.
Maybe it leveled it out. That was the sound.
Well, oh, that picture fell. Yeah, that picture fell right behind the clock
Where?
there.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're right.
Holy crap.
Hold on, look at this. Look at this.
Holy crap.
Oh, never mind. It's just a reflection. Let me check it out real quick. There's no sort of.
There's that big nail it was holding on to up there. That's
Yeah, look at
it
the
didn't
nail
fall
there.
from the nail. The nail's or screw's still there. I started the clock.
Dude, what is the chances of that happening? A picture falling off and then the clock hasn't started in 2 months.
That is insane.
Is the string broke or what? Well, listen up. I mean, there was no. It's not like we're running through the place and it fell.
I think the string's broken.
Yep. String's broken.
Holy crap.
I picked now to break, but and started the clock.
Cigarettes? That is one thing too. I've brought cigars and offered stuff, like they will ask for stuff and I'll bring it every time.
Someone is smoking a cigarette. Yeah, on my career, they're right here next to me. All of them still ready.
It really smells like cigarette, and nothing is. If it had heated up and it was midday or something, I could see where maybe it would come off the wood. But oh wow, that's really strong.
It hit me instantly. It came from this way, coming this way.
That door's complicated. I got a stationary camera set up back there. Why? Do the church bells literally ring at every single hour? I just don't know where to begin. I've never, really investigated much other than that back area. So maybe I'll, see what's going on. ADI, looking flat. It's good. All right. If there's anyone down in the basement, I'd like to have a little chat with you. There's a Jason or Justin, something with a J. Heard you might hang out down here. I'm gonna take this device, I'm gonna put it right here on the stairs for you. If you can go up and touch it, that'd be freaking awesome. Or if there's anyone anywhere else down here, if you can make a little noise, we'll come to you. The evidence room. Did you hear that? What was that? What does that sound? I thought that was the EDI going off. There was like a weird mechanical type sound. Almost like a REM pod. But I don't have a REM pod. That's interesting. Venture a little deeper into the basement, I guess. This is such a confusing and dark basement. I can't see a foot in front of you. Could have sworn I heard footsteps in here. Could have sworn. Alright, we're going off for temperature drop, and I can definitely feel the temperature change came in here. I mean, I guess there is a window right there, but it's a long hallway, and it is chilly. We're still going off for temperature. Temperature is dipping. Alright, let's set this on the ground. And I'll set this guy right here on it. And is this the record button? Check. Okay. So I also got this tape recorder. I'm going to sit down, and it is voice activated. I guess so. If the red light comes on and the tape starts spinning, that means we got a voice. Let's
stop. And then, for good measure, we'll put down a traditional. But you gotta be decently close to that to get it to work. Because right now it's obviously not going off, but if I talk loud, then it will. So, either gotta be really loud or really close. And then I will go ahead and I'll set up this recorder as well. Some 360 audio. We'll set it up over here. Alright, if there's anyone down here, I got all kinds of devices for you. You got that tape recorder on the ground with the microphone. You can speak into it. The device it's sitting on, if you want to touch it, that'd be awesome. And then I got an audio recorder with a red light right back behind me. Just want to come down here and have a little conversation with you. Can you maybe tell me your name? Can you maybe tell me about this entity who's said to be down here that's not quite human? So that came from, like, right here, yeah?
Yeah.
What is directly above us? Besides whatever that is. What would be...
I don't know.
That would be... So that's... Is that the cell block where that little thing is?
Might be.
Right, you know, like right before the turnstile?
Yeah.
So there wouldn't be any sort of plumbing there, or anything like that. And there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing in here. All right, so if that was you who just did that, I don't know what that was. But number one, thank you. If that was you, can you maybe make that happen again? Whatever you just did. That happened right after I started talking about the potential not human spirit down here. If there's something down here that is not quite human, can you give me another sign? Touch that device on the floor with the numbers. Or talking to that microphone for me. Like straight back on the wall, I keep seeing these lights. And they're just, it's small lights. Like I just seen it again. And they're appearing, then they're disappearing. But at the same time, it's like in my face right now, it's like I'm walking through something. Like I can literally see it. It's like it's not dust, it's something. I don't know how to feel about it. But we're here to mess around and find out. As soon as I say that, this goes off. So, let me come through here. I don't think there's anything for me to fall on. Is there someone back here? If there is, if you could touch this device in my hands, that'd be really cool. Can you tell me who you are? Oh, man. Alright, so now we're going back into sketchy tunnels. What they were used for? I don't know. But they are sketchy. This is where people supposedly been scratched. I personally think that's probably because these are sketchy tunnels with jagged, sharp brick. Actually, this is a limestone, which is said to help fuel activity. We have this random big open room. So, I think we should go in here, hang out for a minute, see if we can't, temperature drop, see if we can't get a little something going. Alright, if you're down here, got 2 devices there for you. You can talk into the microphone. The light will come on, we'll know that you're speaking to us, we'll be able to hear you. Or the device with the numbers on it, you can touch it. So it said that you have scratched people. If that's your preferred way of communication, by all means you can scratch me. Sit right here. Okay. Going into the cell block brought back even more memories. The cool thing about coming back after all this time is to hear what others have experienced. Such as when Melissa had talked about someone who was sleeping in one of the cells having their items thrown around. When I first visited, we were locked in the cells at night, and I stayed in that exact same cell. Not only did I have batteries thrown around, but I also woke up at one point to a face inches away from mine. Opening my eyes and seeing that, it honestly scared me so bad I thought I might have had a heart attack while I was locked in that cell, but I had nowhere to go. Alright. If there's anyone in this cell block with me, got a couple different ways you can interact if you choose. I'd love to talk to you. Out there on the table with the cards, there's a device. If you touch it, it'll let us know you're here. Actually, I'm sorry, it's actually right there on the ground with the red light. If you touch it, it'll let us know that you're here. I've got a recorder out there on the table with the cards you can talk into. And in my hand, I'm holding a microphone that you can speak into as well. And it will let me know that you're trying to communicate. Then if you want to get close to this device in my hand, you got all kinds of options to let yourself be known here. Can you maybe make a sound for me? Let me know you're here. Can you tell me how long you're in here for? That was loud. If that's you, can you come a little bit closer? I'm down here in the second cell. Can you tell me what it is that they accuse that you did? I'm hearing a lot of movement. I'm hearing a lot of movement. I'm hearing a lot of movement. Here's the thing, we're not guards, we don't work for the sheriff. Nothing like that. So, this is the perfect time if you're full of anger, frustration against the system. Being locked up in here. This is your chance to really express it. There's no guards here. You're not going to get in any trouble. If you want to make some noise, if you want to throw something, if you want to scream, if you want to slam something, really let all that frustration out. This is your chance. Sound like it was upstairs. If that was you, you can do something bigger. You can do something louder. I'm sure you got family, you probably got kids that you want to see. The holidays were just happened and you had to be in here. I'm sure that's frustrating. I'm sure that kind of pisses you off. Show me how angry that makes you, how upset that makes you. If you're out there in the hallway, why don't you come in here in the cell with me? There's a chair right here. Come have a seat, and let's have a chat. If there's anyone up here with me, got a couple of different ways that you can try to communicate with me. Come here to talk, hear your story, share your story. That device down there in the doorway with the red light on it. If
you get close to that little antenna that's coming out, you'll be able to set it off for us, see all the lights come on. It's not going to hurt you. Just a way to communicate. You got that microphone hanging there. You can talk into it, be able to hear you. Also have this recorder over here that you can also talk into. And I have a device in my hands that if you get close to it, it'll let me know that you're here. And none of this stuff will hurt you. Just hoping to be able to communicate, talk to you, hear your story. Understand that there were some women kept up here. Is that true? What did you do to get put up here? Maybe you were wrongfully accused, innocent of what they claimed you did. Did the male guards treat you right here? I know it's probably difficult being a female in a pretty much all-male jail. So wondering what that was like. You know, if you need a lawyer to get you out of this mess, we can get you one. Get you the best lawyer in town, but we need to know. You don't want to end up in here for the rest of your life, do you? Sounds like there's so much going on downstairs now. Like knocking footsteps. But where would that be coming from? It's not coming from the cells. Is it coming from that office area?
Around 4 o'clock, I found myself sitting in the living room. The entire place just seemed to come alive. It started with the sounds of someone in the kitchen, then down the hall, footsteps and groans coming from upstairs. It was as if I was completely surrounded by activity and I had no idea what to do or where to go. I was just completely astonished. Luckily, my cameras I had set up around the jail were able to pick up on some of this activity, starting with what sounds like banging coming from the cell block. At the same time in the basement, you can hear what sounds like someone getting ready for the day. You even hear what sounds like cabinet doors being opened and closed. This was not only the evidence room, but it was also where all the munitions were stored. So it's very likely that this is where many guards would have started their day. One of the stationary cameras that I had set up is down in the basement and overlooks the stairs that lead up into the kitchen. Now, right around the time where I started hearing what sounded like someone moving in the kitchen, I also captured this on video. I still don't know what to make of this video, and everyone that I sent it off to says it looks like someone walking up the stairs. Trying to debunk this, I was completely unable to. There's really no light source from outside to be able to cast a shadow, and on top of that, the window is so low and small that a person would walk out a little bit more of the window. Furthermore, you can also see that whatever this is exists outside of the frame of the window, showing that it couldn't really be anything from outside. I cannot say what it is, but it's strange. The old Blackford County Jail will always hold a special place in my heart. This place has tons of strange activity that I cannot explain. The incident with the clock is one that I will always remember. So many things had to happen at the exact right time, down to the second, to the point where I cannot say it's just a coincidence. This location is a place that I could visit over and over again and never know what to expect. While the jail is known for John Dillinger having stayed here, my next location is known for perhaps a more well-known and infamous figure in history. On the next episode, join me as I visit a place that many refer to as the Demon Church. Does the spirit of the late cult leader Jim Jones still haunt the church that he grew up in? Have his actions in life created an evil entity set to attack those who dare to enter? Will I encounter one of the shadow figures said to roam the sanctuary? Find out on the next episode as we open up the next chapter of The Dead Chronicles.